The tension of competitive rivalries is often a key ingredient for creating art. A young Renaissance painter named Leonardo da Vinci engaged in a battle of words with the great master Michelangelo. Braque and Picasso were so similar in their Cubist style, it was difficult to tell who painted what. The traditionalist Brahms and the avant-garde Wagner created a division among classical music enthusiasts. Fights were known to break out before premieres. And long nights on the road would provide opportunity for musical warfare between jazz greats Bird and Coltrane. One musical art form born in the inner city with roots in Jamaican dancehall music embraced this spirit of competition like no other, creating a provocative world of words, taunts, and insults. This musical art form would create a culture called hip-hop, and thus began the Battle of the MCs.
I never thought I would see the day where I met or heard the wackest rapper in the world, because I've heard a lot of whack rappers, but he very well possibly could be the worst rapper in the world.
Dre is a BG. I mean a baby gangster. And he ain't even a gangster.
The streets gotta know that this nigga's a fucking fake. He's a phony. You know what I'm saying? He's a fucking phony.
My man Nori, man. I love you, Nori. Step your rap game up, man.
My man Black Child said it the best. Who wants beef with a snitch? Wow.
While y'all was running your mouth complaining about Summer Jam, I was in flip-flops in the south of France.
So yo, 50, what's the definition of a wankster, man? I mean, what is that?
Ja Rule, Irv Gotti.
Fuck your little bitch ass up, nigga. Come here, give me a kiss, you little faggot.
Yo, they dissing you, son.
Yo, he's a hater, he's a hater.
This dude ain't saying nothing about me.
I said you acting like a bitch. He said you acting like a bitch.
Come at me. If I was writing about me, I would kill me.
I didn't even know him. And I jumped in that shit head first and said, nigga, fuck you, whatever.
I'ma get at 50. He's the real wankster.
You got about 15 different beefs that you can pull up.
Cold crushing, fantastic.
The real Roxanne and Roxanne Shantae.
Kumo D caught Busy B.
Kane or Coogee rap. I can out-rap Ice-T.
Ice Cube versus NWA.
That was a vicious battle.
it was from the heart.
Jerry Hammer.
B.I.G. Snoop and Corrupt.
Harmon and Cube.
Oh, you don't like Hammer.
Tupac and Hammer got into it.
The Benzino thing? That's punk shit.
Tupac, rest in peace, and Biggie, rest in peace.
The East Coast and the West Coast.
That East Coast, West Coast thing.
East Coast, West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast.
East, West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast. East Coast, West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast beat.
But I'm not old school, because I bust these new cats' ass.
Wow. When Cannabis and LL Cool J went at it.
Shorts people rushed the Loonies people.
God damn, cat.
Jay-Z made comments about Mobb Deep.
You a bitch ass nigga for saying that.
He said, I'm about $1. Who the fuck is 50 Cent?
He said, I'm a Mac 11. I'm a higher caliber MC. That's no question.
I said, nigga, I don't give a fuck where you from, nigga. You in LA, nigga, and you will lose tonight, nigga.
Jay-Z and Nas.
DMX is cursing out Ja Rule and all these different interviews.
Don't fuck with Dawn.
Actually, somebody got shot in the club that night we was there.
KRS versus Nelly.
Nelly battling Chris?
Drama. A gang of drama.
Beef.
Beef. Beef.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef. Beef. Beef.
Beef. Beef. Beef. Beef.
Well, the earliest battle, I think, on history, or most famous battle, is Busy B and Kumo D.
This battle took place over 2 decades ago and is still being heard today.
I heard about that battle in Brooklyn as a graffiti artist. That's how, as an atomic explosion went out.
That was at Harlem World Stage, 116th Street, Lenox Avenue.
Right here, Harlem World. You understand what I'm saying? This is the place. It's a supermarket now. They got Met Food, but that's the world famous Harlem World right there.
Legendary Harlem World.
Busy B was more of a, what they would call a celebrity club rapper.
Somebody go,
He would just kind of go into a club. You know, Busy B was known to bite people's rhymes. He'd take a little bit of your rhyme and a little bit of his rhyme, but he could go in and rock the party.
Busy Bee represented the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Barba de barba, danga dang, diggy diggy.
And Kumo D was more of a serious rapper who wrote rhymes and he was in the treacherous 3.
Good look, this is the last time you'll ever see this picture. Only a few battle masters know how to beat the party MC, because in a lot of cases the party MC will look like he won, but if you listen to it on wax or if you listen to it once you got the tape home, you would probably hear more poetic value in the other guy. But the party MC is about the live interaction.
A lot of people will say that it was unfair for Kumo D to really battle Busy Bee, who wasn't really a battle MC. But Busy Bee was a battle MC. He just battled in the old-fashioned way, which was to basically who can rock the party the most.
The battle with Busy Bee was spontaneous. It wasn't planned. I was actually the host of the MC contest. And Busy Bee, he's a character. He's one of the funniest guys in hip-hop, without question. And Busy Bee comes in like Ali used to do at the training camps. I'm knocking out all bums. I'm coming in here.
Knocking out all bums.
I'm zooming in.
Ain't down with MC8, you got a problem. You got knocking out all bums.
This Chief Rocker Busy Bee, you know what I'm saying? Let me take a picture with this car, because this is my trophy. Let me take a picture with it right now. So he bent down and he was taking pictures with the trophy or whatever. And it was like comical. And it always takes one heckler. So one heckler looks up and says, "You can't beat him." And Busy Bee says, "I don't care who it is. I beat anybody. I done won 800 of these in a row, taking pictures and he's posing or whatever. Just give me the trophy right now, because nobody can beat me. I'm Chief Rocker Busy Bee. I'll be back to claim this in about 25 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to let everybody else go ahead and do what they got to do, because I'm going to win this thing." And the guy says again, "But you can't beat Mo D." And he says, "I don't care who it is. Anybody get in here, it's going to be suicide. That's it. I'm knocking out all bums. I'm knocking out all bums." I don't even know what I expected him to do. Like, was he supposed to turn around and say, "No, I can't beat him"? Because that wouldn't be, that's not machismo. That wouldn't work. So he did what he was supposed to do, but my ego was just out of whack at the time. So I said, I can't believe he didn't acknowledge that he couldn't beat me in a battle. And so I go up to the guy that's in Harlem World to put my name on the list. He said, "You getting in the battle?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "And put me on right after Busy Bee."
I was on stage doing it. It was my turn to rock. I felt every time it's my turn to rock, I like to enjoy the crowd, make the crowd enjoy me. So I get on the mic, I do my regular ball with the ball, but dang, rocking, making the people, oh yeah, scream, holler, and all that, right?
The competition was supposed to be over.
Busy Bee rocked the party. Like if you listen to the tape, Busy Bee was already on stage, had already rocked the party completely. People were totally satisfied with him.
Once again, MC Busy Bee with Cool D.
So then they say, "Oh, we got one more contestant, we didn't know he was gonna get down, so we're gonna let him rap." And at that time, I'm not paying none of that no mind, because I'm not even worrying about nobody trying to snap on me or say something about me, so I'm not even figuring that's gonna happen, right? So I go downstairs, I'm partying.
Jeez, man, I took some time and rocked the house, you know what I'm saying? Look here. Now we go to the hotel, cool out, I got the limousine outside, I got girls, I got the champagne, we gonna have some fun and work it out.
Party people in the place to be. My name is MC Kumo D from the Treacherous 3. My man LA Sunshine in the place to be. We gonna get a little something straight here in the place to be. How many people think Busy Bee Starsky rocked the house? I hear that in the place to be. Yeah.
He did rock the crowd, but this is a battle.
But if y'all notice it or not, I heard a lot of shit, Busy Bee's popping shit saying he'll take out any MC and all that. I give it to the man, he know how to rock the crowd, but when it come to having rhymes, no way he can fuck around, and I'm gonna prove that right now.
So now I'm putting in your mind that what you just saw wasn't really anything.
Do now. Hold on, Busy Bee, I don't mean to be bold.
Put that bar bullshit on hold.
We're gonna get right down to the nitty grit. I'm gonna tell you a little something why you ain't shit. There ain't an MC cock that you don't hug. You even bitch your name from the love bug.
Can I fight a nigga's name, miss some low down shit? Shut up. If you was money, man, you be counterfeit.
The crowd is like going berserk, because they're like, I can't believe he's attacking them like this, and it's by surprise. Nobody knew what was gonna happen.
So I'm at the lower level, I'm partying, we down there drinking, and they coming downstairs, yo, Biz. I'm saying, what happened?
yo, Biz, yo, D going crazy over you. I said, what, who? Kumo D disrespecting you, calling you all kind of this, saying this and that. I'm like, yeah.
Kumo D just comes out of left field and just demolished him.
He shut him down. Kumo D kind of took Busy B apart.
And they actually got it on the radio.
The mixtape that floated around the world forever.
And from that point on, the tape became like a record. Everybody had the tape, and people would run up to me and be like, I heard what you did to Busy B.
Cause you're faking the funk. And at the end of this round, you can call me Uncle. Modi rock, shock the house. Call me Uncle, rock the house. Y'all like this, y'all.
Now imagine going from barbity barba dang a dang diggy dig. This is the changing of the guard.
Hold on, brother, man, don't you say nothing. I'm not finished yet, I gotta tell you something. Too hot to trot, I'm here to rock the spot. I'm gonna rock your ass whether you like it or not.
The battle between Kumo D and Busy B gave birth to the lyrical MC.
You're not number one, you're not even the best. And you can't win no real MC contest.
You now have to make sense of what you said in order for us to give you power.
To tell you the truth, that might have been the best thing for him. It worked out for me, and we've been friends before that. Never stopped being friends.
Yeah. Chief Rocker.
All right.
So let me know when the anniversary's gonna be. Like I said, no surprise attack, no dumb shit.
Be at the airport when you arrive. You know that he's just Kumo D, not Busy B. And if you would see him straighten out it all out, like all of those, I'm still king. Have to bow down when the chief comes in town.
If Kumo D had lost that battle, nothing we're saying today would be said. The way we're saying nothing, it would not exist. We would all today would have to start our rhyme where, well, barbity barba dang dang diggy dig.
We've always done something with words, and we've always done it in a way where I think it's kind of competitive. What was Socrates and Aristotle and all those people doing with words when they had these debates in Greek society all the way back to Africa? You'll find that there was wordplay and there was some sort of competition with words. What are debates about? War of words. How can you one-upmanship? How can you manipulate words and move the crowd or convince people? You take it all the way from Africa to slave times, you're dealing with all types of word games that people have played, whether it was the Brer Rabbit tales or signifying the monkey, even mama jokes, where the object of ridicule was the master who didn't know that the slaves were just substituting somebody's mama to have him be the object of the joke. H. Brown wrote a book called Die Nigga Die, and in that book he kind of outlines what he was doing in the 50s, and he describes people standing around in a circle in what sounds like a cipher today, where you have a bunch of brothers standing around rhyming against each other.
On one young nigga, pass the mic on the two, pass the mic on the three, young nigga, you pop, it's on you.
One of the immediate predecessors to rap was this game called The Dozens. And The Dozens really was a rhyme game where you talked about people's moms.
At your mama house.
Yo, mama.
Oh, your mama's so fat.
Well, your mama's favorite day was fight the shower. You can take a bath. Alright, you don't like to take no bath, and our favorite song is fight the shower.
I remember talking to Rudy Ray Moore. You know, people know him as Dolomite, and he described how people had all this wordplay when he was coming up.
Dolomite is my name, and rapping and tapping is my game. I'm the one that killed Monday and whipped Tuesday and put Wednesday in the hospital.
Rhyming is a part of, what you have to do when you do certain things. You have to make it rhyme. When you talk trash on a certain level, it has to rhyme.
The DJ said, here's a microphone. Somebody tell everybody how great I am. That's why early rap records were always about the DJ. It was like Grandmaster Flash cut so on, and my DJ is this, and my DJ is that. Now this MC has the microphone, so what he would do is say, yeah, by the way, the DJ's this, but I'm kind of nice, and I'm kind of fly, and I live in a house, and I got this, and the girls want me, and the girls would scream. But then the next guy would get on the mic and say, yeah, The last guy was kind of good, but I'm a little better. And by the way, I was with his sister.
Everyone in their own mind, by their own right, thinks they're number one.
I'm ill. I'm tight.
I see a lot of talent, but I see no competition.
But you will never fuck with me lyrically, because I'm on some other shit. You got to be able to do what I do, plus.
We the heavyweight champions of the world for the last 7-8 years. Yeah, no.
But you know, hey, I'm ready for anybody.
We got the #1 rhyme niggas in the game, period, right here sitting in front of you.
Like I said earlier, I deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Rap started off as a full contact sport. It was highly aggressive. It's gonna be aggressive.
Hip-hop is competitive. Find a rapper that doesn't think he's the best. And I bet you he won't be a signed artist. I bet you he'll just be some guy that's playing around.
The battle was like the way you took your steps to showing that you was the greatest. MCing was about being the freshest, being the dopest.
If you're gonna say you're number one, you gotta prove it.
You know, you step up money, then I'ma step up. You know what I'm saying?
Two people can't be in the same room saying they the best. They're gonna have to battle. They're gonna have to prove it.
Get down to the stab, get on the mic on my behalf.
Let's go to the stage. Let's hit me and you. Forget that record. Forget all of that. Just hit the drum machine and let's go.
My man G-Rap, bullets all on you, so get on the mic and do what you want to.
No thanks. Back to you, Dick.
It's not about how you look or what you did, how many bitches you fucked, how many rings you got, or none of that. It's who can rhyme the best.
That's what it's about, yo. Straight up being on the street corners, you know what I mean? It was no disrespect. It was just a thing of skills. Showing who got more. It was kind of like practice. If you ever was on the Little League, if you ever was running around the hood, it's your practice to get set for the game. The game is out here in the industry. You know what I mean? So if you can't make it on the streets, you can't come out on the industry because anybody can test you at any time. And the thing is, you ain't got to be the one that's coming out dissing anybody, but they will come at you to see where your skills is at. So to keep your sword sharp, you got to do it and battle on the streets. That's where it's from.
It's like the difference between pro ball and the street ball. You know what I'm saying? Pro ball is cool, and that's where the money is at. But the street ball niggas is the nicest ones. You know what I'm saying? And the way they do moves like that, it's more personal, it's more competitive. You know what I'm saying? That's what battling is to rap.
You're never going to be able to get as deep into competition as you will in the ghetto community.
In the hood, they really want to win. You got to win to get out the hood.
Because you got to remember, being the best dancer is probably the best thing you're ever going to be. You know, you don't have that many opportunities. So to be the best rapper is a big thing.
I think any MC worth their salt has been in a battle, has been in rhyme competition, one point or the other. So even your most thugged out street cat, hat backwards, gold tooth wearing, I'm just hustling, has been in a battle or has had some sort of rhyme competition.
Every year, I write a battle rhyme for the entire top 10 of Billboard. No disrespect. It's just the way I practice. Always remember, if you're in the top 10 of Billboard, I have a rhyme to battle you, straight up, that will destroy your career.
Check it. Yeah. Now listen. I say it's great in this world to always be an MC, but somebody in this world is always beefing with me. Every time that I could rock it, Supernatural does the stunted. But do you know what it's like to live the life of the hunted? Everywhere you walk, you're always a target. Whether I'm shopping or buying food at the market, cats wanna battle me and kill my carcass. Yeah, that's when the hour really is the darkest. But listen to me spark this as far as I can free. I learned from Cool Mo D and Busy B when KRS-One this MC Shan.
It's probably the one that I think sticks out in everybody's mind, and I think probably set a standard, was the battle between the Juice Crew and BDP, Boogie Down Productions.
As hip-hop grew in the mid-'80s, New York's different neighborhoods began to take credit for its creation. Was it the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, or Harlem?
Me and my man MC Shan made a intermission record for Queensbridge parties that we used to have in the park out there at Queensbridge. The 70s and early 70s is when, you know, the hip-hop started out there. They was playing in the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Molly Mall in the house tonight. They just came from off tour. They want to tell you a little story about where they come from.
Mr. Magic, who at that time in the mid-'80s was the pinnacle and the height of what it meant to be an on-air DJ who played hip-hop music. He was the man, known around the world, Mr. Magic's Rap Attack. And here you had up-and-coming artists, KRS-One, Scott LaRock, bringing their record to Mr. Magic, and him not feeling it.
What up? KRS-One, Scott LaRock. Yeah. This is how we barge in. Yo, this is Boogie Down Productions. KRS, Scott LaRock. Here's our we're performing right there. Like this. So obviously Mr. Magic is like, who are you? Get out of here!
And at the same time, Mr. Magic was also supporting a number of MCs that included Master Ace and Craig G and Big Daddy Kane and all these other folks that were collectively just called the Juice Crew.
We leave frustrated. Magic dissed us. He wouldn't even give us the time. He wouldn't even. Who he think he is? Now, somewhere along the line, we get the impression that Mr. Magic said our tape was whack, whack, whack. He heard it and said it was garbage. I said, garbage? MC Shan is garbage? So I went back to my shelter, sitting amongst 600 men, bugging out. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, I'm writing South Bronx, South Bronx, South Bronx. So my issue was what MC Shan said in the record. You love to hear the story again and again about how it all got started way back when. The monument is right in your face. Sit and listen for a while to the name of the place. The Bridge. The Bridge, the Bridge, the Bridge, the Bridge. Queensbridge. I said, It was $25 an hour for an 8-track studio. We were there 2 hours, $50, a lot of money. That what you hear on the South Bronx is one take. Scott was complaining that I took too long. The guy didn't even mix the record. There's no mix. And we kept one, and we gave one to Red Alert.
DJ Red Alert, one of New York's premier club and radio DJs, played parties at New York's Latin Quarters.
And that's when your heart stops right there. Heart stops. Because right then and there, Red Alert can tell you to get out. It's corny. Look, man, you ain't got a shot. Red Alert will tell you in a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't like the record. You don't have a shot. And your career's over. You wait and one song goes on. When he gonna play the record? He probably don't like it. Now the song go on. Boom, our song comes on. The whole place stops.
Yo, what's up, Blast Master KRS-One? This jam.
And they're doing like this. And by the time we got to, and I'm from the South Bronx, the South Bronx place erupted. Red Alert played that record 3 times in a row. He couldn't play nothing else. After the chorus went, the crowd, he tried to put on another record, they sang the South Bronx chant over that record. So he'd have to put it on again and put it on again. You can't imagine the feeling.
Fresh for 86, you suckers.
So to go against Shan was meant a lot. So when KRS did that, that's when everybody that listened to rap had to really sit down and take it serious.
After the triumph at Latin Quarters, KRS-One's star began to rise, with South Bronx on the radio as a direct challenge to hip-hop's premier MC.
Chris claimed that I said that hip-hop started in Queensbridge, which I didn't. In the beginning of the song, you hear Marley say, yo, they want to tell you a story about where they come from. That's the key word, where they come from. The bridge, the bridge. Well, Chris took it, and he's like thinking, oh, they talking all this stuff. Everybody knows hip-hop started in the Bronx. Cool Herc,
Time for the Bronx to come back. We came back live.
So was there a lot of resentment and everything after the record? Is it like a rivalry going on out there?
Yeah, say that.
Yeah.
My response to his response was, kill that noise, because you can't mess around.
I don't really mind being criticized, but those who try to make fame on my name dies.
South Bronx, kill that noise. South Bronx, kill that noise. And I was just like, yo, please, kill that noise.
South Bronx. Kill that noise. South Bronx came out, then Kill That Noise came out. And I put out The Bridge Is Over because it's all I had. These are rhymes that I was saying. So I ran back in the studio the next week and made this record, The Bridge Is Over.
I didn't need to be in this hip-hop game with all the people in my camp, the cold chilling, and all, you know, everybody was negative. Even my own clique tried to play me low.
Shan's my man and all that, but I think Chris kind of came out the victor a little.
Didn't need the criticism, didn't need the people, you know, my own crew dissing me and dogging me.
I found myself representing the Bronx. I mean, like, representing. I didn't realize how much a record did, you know, what a record did for pride, what a record did for esteem. The Bronx was alive again.
I'm from Queens. He was going, Manhattan keeps on making it, Brooklyn keeps on taking it, Bronx keeps creating it, Queens keeps on faking it. Yeah. Ship so hot, we still had to fuck with it.
So if you said anything about me, I was gonna get you, no matter who you was, where you was from, why you was there. I'm still the only guy in the whole game that represented and battled the whole borough by myself.
If you thought MC Shan lost to KRS-One, or if the Juice Crew lost, they were able to come back and still be legends because the hip-hop community was forgiving. It's like, okay, they got you on that battle, but there's another tomorrow.
Hip-hop shit. My man MC Shan went right to the brass master, and I want to let all people know that this is one crew right here. Me, you.
I've had the 6 cars in my yard. I've had the Mercedes. I still got the BM, the motorcycles, and all of this in my yard right now. I've had that. I'm talking about planes and boats now. I ain't into cars and Chris. That's for you little punks. I'm talking planes and boats, because I spit shit directly being aimed at throats. I got doorbells with real bitches singing the notes. I got new Chris lines, man. I got new lines to burn stuff. If there was no me, tell me, would there ever be a Chris? No QB? Tell me, would there ever be a diss? Thank God and Miss Parker for the fact that you're here, but thank me for your career. You hear?
MC Shan could have won the battle simply by ignoring me. I'd be nowhere. There'd be no KRS-One. There'd be no 12 albums, no Stop the Violence movement, no Human Education Against Lies, no Temple of Hip Hop, nothing. It was because MC Shan understood hip hop that he said, oh no, this guy's stepping to me.
By the late 80s, LL Cool J had become a superstar, which increasingly in hip-hop meant he had become a target. Into the Break of Dawn, LL Cool J shot back at all his rivals. MC Hammer,
Took my old gym teacher, ain't supposed to rap.
Kool Moe Dee,
Got the nerve to have them Star Trek shades on.
and Ice-T.
Mr. Pusherman, give me a fix so I can show you I'm immune to them romper room tunes. You little hip-hop raccoon.
LL Cool J and his opponents brought the MC battle out of the clubs and on to the national stage, where the rules were very different.
I took the cover right home to the bathroom. And the immortal words of LL, hard as hell. Your broad wears it well. She's the reason that your record sold a few copies. But your rhymes are slow.
Where I was coming from, being from a gang culture in the LA street, if somebody said something about you in the street, you immediately wanted to go see them. And it was like, you know, I can say something about you, but you can't say nothing about me.
As crack cocaine ravaged urban America in the 1980s, rap music began to become a microphone for the rage and despair of the inner cities. That rage began to influence the music itself, and in no place like Los Angeles.
So Easy told me to write a song for him.
So I wrote a song called Boys in the Hood.
I talked Eric into doing the rhyme. The song was Boys in the Hood. He was like, yo, I ain't never rapped before, I can't do this. So I eventually talked him into doing it. You know, he put on some dark glasses and we cut the lights down and the whole shit, you know, and he did it. Next day, you know, we had a hit record.
Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon.
You know, one day they was like, you know, we're gonna call this NWA. Niggas with attitudes. Now, I don't know if Dre or Easy was the one that came up with the name, because they was together when they told me. So I was with it. I was like, cool.
Before releasing NWA's first album, Eazy-E released Easy Does It, an Eazy-E solo album, written by Ice Cube, produced by Dr. Dre, and essentially made by NWA.
It's the real album.
It's a new album.
New Easy album. Full effect.
Easy royalty statement came in. So I just know that this money is about to be broke up 5 ways, you know, and everybody's gonna get paid because everybody contribute. You know, even though Eazy was the name, NWA put that record together.
Okay, now a lot of people, now see, I was just confused a little bit about that. Could you explain like NWA and Eazy-E? Okay.
It's an all-star group. It's all of us. Me, Dre, Yella, Ren, Ice Cube.
And it was like, nah, this is Easy money. We getting NWA money. I'm like, Easy and NWA the same thing. It ain't no difference.
And mine is me, solo. That's my album. It's by myself, solo.
What he wanted to do was keep the Eazy-E money for himself, and then when the NWA record money came in, he wanted to split that and cut himself into that. So that's when it just started getting real hectic. People starting to ask me questions I couldn't answer about my contract, how long am I signed, all these type of things where I didn't know. People have been telling me, you know, asking me about a solo album. I should do one. But I'm all about my group, man.
Established rock manager Jerry Heller was brought on to help run Ruthless Records.
The good thing I like about Jerry, he don't care who hates him. You know, it's business. Don't take it personal, it's business. You know, they say the same thing about Bill Gates. They say a lot of people hate Bill Gates, but hey, if it wasn't for Jerry Heller and Eric, it wouldn't be no Dr. Dre's, it wouldn't be no Ice Cubes, it wouldn't be a lot of this stuff going on now.
We were on the Straight Outta Compton tour, and some of the people from Parental Record came down there with the platinum records, and they came down and they set these $75,000 checks in front of all of us. What's this for? And he was like, okay, this is for, you know, record sales and for an advance on the next record. So we like, cool. But there was a but on the end of that. But NWA is not a group legally because there are no contracts signed. See, up until then, everything was just verbal on a homeboy level. This is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, and that's it, and this is how we're going to get paid. So Jerry Heller comes in, and he goes, yo, you guys are not a group until these contracts are signed. You can't get these checks until these contracts are signed. So seeing $75,000 sitting on the table, and you know, we some kids out of Compton. We've seen most at one time, $2,000. So we like, okay, cool. Cube was the only smart one at the time. You know, he didn't sign the contract. They say the pen is mightier than the sword is oh so true. You know, that moment messed us up for a long time.
Cube was just more business oriented than all of them, and you know, he did it right. You know, hey, I'm not signing nothing.
I caught Jerry Heller, Eazy-E handing the cookie jar, and I was willing to say, you know, fuck it, I caught y'all, you know, just pay me what you owe me and we can keep on rolling. But, you know, they wanted to save face. They felt like if they paid me, they would have to pay everybody else. And, you know, so they was kind of pretty much like, fuck you, nigga, what you gonna do, go solo?
Ice Cube's first solo album, America's Most Wanted, went gold in only 2 weeks.
Yo, man, I'm more than happy on what's been going on. I'm more than happy with the move, more than happy to really get my career going like I wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? You said 1 million copies later, here we are, it's only 5 weeks into the album, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can't do nothing but be happy, you know? And some people told me, yo, I made a bad decision, what you think?
When NWA split, different crews went with different people, and, you know, they was in conflict with each other.
On the America's Most Wanted album, I didn't diss them at all. I didn't say nothing about NWA. Not even one word about nobody in the group. So for them to come out on they shit, 100 miles and running and diss me, that was their attitude.
So now it's 4 'cause the fifth couldn't make it. The number's even, now I'm leaving.
I did a little diss back and jacking for beats.
And if I jack you and you keep coming, I have you march 100 miles and run.
Hey, yo, this is MC Ren from NWA, and you back with me on Out West, you know what I'm saying? That fool Ice Cube put a diss on this record, yo. Hey, but why don't y'all tell them what we think about Ice Cube? You know what I'm saying? That's what time it is, you know what I'm saying? And that fool Mine is playing tricks on him on Out West. Check it out.
While the first songs contain only mild disses, the beef escalates with NWA's Real Niggas.
They came back and did a bigger diss on me on their album, Niggas for Life.
A message to Benedict Arnold. Yo, be original. Your shit is sloppy. Get off your dick, you motherfucking carbon copy.
Only reason niggas picked up your record is cause they thought it was us.
Trying to be like us, sound like us, dress like us.
And then I came back with the Death Certificate.
On his Death Certificate album, Ice Cube recorded No Vaseline, a vicious attack on NWA and Jerry Heller.
Goddamn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now you're just wet and soft.
No Vaseline.
Living with the whites, one big house, and not another nigga in sight. I started off with too much cargo, dropped 4 niggas, now I'm making all the dough.
No Vaseline.
Yellow boys on your team, so you're losing. Hey, yo, Dre, stick to producing, calling me owner, but you Benedict. Easy-E saw your ass and went in it quick.
It was from the heart.
Cause you get fucked out your green by white boy with no Vaseline.
We heard it, we was like, woo.
When I first heard No Vaseline, I laughed. And the first thing I did is picked up the fucking phone. I called E. I said, hey, what's up? I said, you and Q fucking or something?
After No Vaseline, shit, that was it.
Now let's play Big Bank, take Little Bank. Try to diss Ice Cube, it wasn't worth it cause the broomstick fix your ass up.
They up the ante for diss or battle records as far as we're concerned.
With your manager, fella. Fucking MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and Yella. But if they were smart as me, easier be hanging from a tree with no Vaseline. Just a match and a little bit of gasoline. Light 'em up, burn 'em up, flame on. So that Jericho is gone.
I never knew the drama behind it would be as much a part of the success and the fame. You got the drama and the bullshit. I got the drama and the bullshit before I got the fame and fortune, so yeah, I was real surprised, shocked.
NWA never responded to No Vaseline, but the drama within NWA was far from finished.
One person decides he deserves a little bit more money than the other person, and that's when everything gets all, crossed up.
Don't trust no motherfuckers, because everybody in the music industry is out to get you.
Several years after signing with Eazy-E and Jerry Heller, Dr. Dre also found fault with NWA's compensation practices.
The white boy came in and kind of fucked it up.
And his name is?
Jerry Heller.
I don't know Jerry either.
Kind of pulled Easy to the side and he sold his soul.
Bound by the contract signed on their first tour and with nowhere else to turn, Dr. Dre, with an NWA bodyguard named Suge Knight, started Death Row Records.
Why did Ice Cube leave and then why did Dre leave?
Same reason. The ends wasn't right. Point blank. Get funny with the ends.
Had to do my thing, man. Try to making other people money. It's time to make Dre some ends.
Hip-hop myth alleges Suge Knight and others visited Eazy-E and Jerry Heller with baseball bats to secure Dre's release from Ruthless Records.
It's easy said like y'all came with them at bats, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
and
man.
Swinging and all that old thing, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre came that way at Easy, you know what I'm saying? Is that the way you got in the
I don't know what he talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm innocent.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. So what was the actual settlement as far as, what I'm saying?
Basically, Dre was signed to me as an exclusive producer and an exclusive artist. So I owned him for 6 years. In order for Dre to make his record deal, I had to make the deal possible for him to do it. So I get a percentage of his record sales, whether he produces as an artist and whether he produced Snoop, Rage, Daz, Corrupt, or whoever else off Death Row.
You don't see jack shit that come from Death Row.
I make money off Dre's record sales.
Yeah! How many niggas out there like Eazy-E? Fuck if Eazy motherfucking E. We
love that, nigga. You can eat these motherfucking nuts. Really now, this Death Row, big baby. Compton and Long Beach together.
Dr. Dre, Snoop, and Death Row came after Eazy-E on the Chronic's Fuck with Dre Day.
I'm directing Fuck with Dre Day.
It was more vicious between Dre and Eazy because that's the first time you really got to see, like, you know, the belittling of a fellow MC, you know, in a video. The caricature of Eazy-E, the caricature of Jerry Heller.
Excuse me, Dre, we're setting up the scene when we shoot Eazy-E. Do you want him shot with the 32 or the AK-47?
Use the AK.
The AK.
Fully automatic.
Fully automatic.
Yeah.
We picked the wrong nigga to fuck with. Yeah, we could do an NWA Reunion album if it's on Death Row.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Death
I'm
Row.
Without
Yeah.
Easy.
Without
It's gonna
Easy.
be called NWE. You know? Niggas without Easy.
Eazy-E responded on wax and video with real motherfucking G's.
Damn, E, they tried to fade you on Dre Day. But Dre Day only met Eazy's Day. All of a sudden, Dr. Dre is the G thing. But on his own album covers, he was a she thing.
Wait, don't you remember Dre was back in the day? He used to be in a world-class wrecking crew. They used to wear lipstick, lace, mascara, biker shorts, and everything. See, a lot of people don't remember all that. When he did the Cabbage Patch and the Fly and Dr. Dre. And he didn't start hollering Compton until he got with me.
That's explaining how it is in Compton.
Oh yeah, you remember on a song called NWA did called Express Yourself, he said, I never smoke weed or cess, because it's known to give a brother brain damage, and brain damage on the mic don't manage. Now he's smoking weed and low ride, and all of a sudden in 93 and claim to be an OG. OGs do stuff back in the day. Dre is a BG. I mean a baby gangster.
Journalist Kevin Powell interviewed Eazy-E for Vibe magazine just before Eazy's death in 1995.
And he was deeply hurt by the belittling of him because Ice Cube had dissed him. You know what I'm saying? With No Vaseline very hard. And then Dre and Snoop dissed him. It didn't seem the way, you know, like he had recovered emotionally the way maybe Shan or KRS-One could have recovered, or LL and Kool Moe Dee and stuff like that. And I think that was the first time I began to think, like, man, this is kind of going in a different direction now.
I think that the violence came into the whole sport of battling once the lyrical content changed.
I won't quit, I talk a lot of shit, gon' buck it all up, cause I'll be ready to throw them up, but niggas don't wanna slang them, cause I bring them, I'll be 165, but I'm high till I fucking die. So what you wanna do, bring your whole fucking crew, and my clock I had niggas running up the block.
Hip-hop is an expression of all kinds of energy. I mean, whether it's positive energy or whether it's the energy of those who would be drug dealers but were instead afforded an opportunity to record music. But of course, there are artists who come from a real rugged time and a rugged energy and express a rugged point of view. And so when they get into battles, the battles get more difficult.
Like now when you listen to Brothers Battle and you listen to the lyrics they say, I mean, you know, they going at it like, you know, like straight up like it's mafia threats.
You take me out, I take your family out.
I kill your people, you kill mine.
What'd you say, motherfucker? But if you're trying to
Kill your ass, break your fucking neck. Don't be talking shit.
I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna shoot you.
And I murder this person.
I hate you, you hate me, ask your mama, here's her name, I had sex with her.
Mother and your sister and your girlfriend and
your mother, your daughter.
And I tie your mother up, throw your baby out the window.
Cut your head off and bowl it down a bowling alley.
kidnap your kids and shit. Kidnap your aunt.
I'll say something disrespectful to somebody else's kids, about their kids. And when I say that, I'm saying it with intentions to go there.
Hip-hop don't have a heart nowadays.
Tupac has no heart. What's that say? Heartless. And I beat them motherfuckers down.
D-Lo, don't do that!
Lyrically and thematically, West Coast gangster rap emphasized skills on the street as much, if not more, than skills on the mic.
Like some rappers like Mix-a-Lot and all of them and try to rap about shit out here. They can't do it because they wasn't around it, but we could do it because we was around it all.
Right. You can't do everything. I've been killings, robbery, murder, thieving, and everything. The whole 9 yards. Dope dealing, everything. Everything you hear on our records is true.
The ever-increasing need to keep it real further blurred the line between artistic differences and street warfare.
Common. It's funny because when he first came out, I mean, he was doing like hip, real, like
old school hip hop records. You know what I'm saying, with the scratch and hook that and all. But what I used to love, I mean, we all know metaphors. You know, I've been in the game since I was 14, so I know metaphors and dude this.
I created I Used to Love It in 1994. You know, it was a story that I could tell about the evolution of hip hop and the stages that I seen hip hop go from just the pure innocent to the along with raw and just being freestyle, like to the pro-black, from pro-black, and then going to the West Coast, which I said was good.
Jazz, now black music is black music and it's all good. I wasn't salty, she was with the boys in the hood.
I wasn't salty, she was with the boys in the hood.
He talking about this girl that he was in love with. You know, she's supposed to be hip-hop, and he's so in love with her. But when she go out here, she get fucked up.
What you mean, nigga? Why it was cool everywhere else it went, but when it came over here, it's fucked up now.
Love NWA, Ice Cube, King T, Compton's Most Wanted, Too Short.
And we felt it was a diss. So, at least I did. I mean, everybody did, but, you know, I was the first one with the pen, so that's how that started.
So, it was fuck Common.
Ice Cube took that as a direct attack and came back and destroyed Common when that wasn't even the nature of the battle that Common was presenting.
For their first song together as the West Side Connection, Ice Cube, Mac 10, and Dub C came after Common in West Side Slaughterhouse.
Me, Cube, and WC, you know, got together in the studio one day and everybody just wrote their verses right there.
Used to love her mad cause we fucked her. Yeah, pussy wood bitch with no common sense. Hip hop started in the West. Ice Cube belling through the East without a vest. Yeah, he was raw with that motherfucker.
Nothing but a tree with no common sense. Hip hop started in the West. Ice Cube belling through the East without a vest.
Yeah, Chicago is mine, nigga. At the feet, he told Common his hood was his hood. West Side Slaughterhouse was so raw, man. I seen that shit the other day, Holmes. That was one of the best rap videos ever. That shit was raw. Niggas had khaki suits on with blood all over them and in meat markets and socking beef and, oh, we was stupid with it.
And I heard it, and at first I was like, man, I'm gonna let it go. My first thing was like, I'm gonna let it go. You know, he dissed me. I'm thinking like, yo, I grew up listening to Cube. You know, I was happy that he knew who I was, you know, like that he even recognized me. But I was hurt that he had dissed me a little, you know. But overall, I was just like, all right, that's cool. Kind of laughed it off. And then I seen Ice Cube and Mac 10 and WC, they were on BET dissing me. I was like, okay, this is going too far. I'm gonna have to defend myself now.
A bitch nigga with an attitude named Q. Step to the calm with a few.
Common, known as a conscious rapper, took hip-hop by surprise with his vicious counterattack, The Bitch in You.
I wrote the first verse, and I remember going down to the Gavin in 1996, and I performed with De La Soul. And I stopped the music. My heart was beating like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm about to say this verse.
And violate you, a Muslim drinking brew. No nigga ain't no Mac 10, he's a 22, I seen you. You ain't say shit.
And the crowd just gave me super love.
Eventually, Common performed The Bitch in You in Los Angeles, boldly dissing Ice Cube in his own city.
Oh man, I don't know what's gonna jump off. It's like, but I just was feeling the fury to a certain extent because it was just, I felt like Ice Cube then was wrongly accusing me, so I was on the defensive at that point. Plus, I knew the verse was lighting the crowd up too.
On the dick of the East for your first release. Your lease is up at the crib house, niggas get evicted. And videos of
I thought that shit was whack. You know, because Common ain't even a rah-rah type nigga. You know, and come on, Common.
I didn't know what it was gonna escalate to. I didn't know. I was like prepared for anything.
Cube, I'm calling out. I break in and smack niggas. This in the slaughterhouse. This ain't no East Coast, West Coast, none of the above. I'm from Chi, went to Cali. And what? Niggas gave me love. That's a thin line.
Shit was getting out of hand. It was getting completely the fuck out of hand, for real.
By the mid-90s, West Coast artists grew impatient with the New York bias against their work.
That we be gangster rap. Mercedes-Benz built the car. I'm driving one. He ain't gonna get mad at me for driving it, is he? So what, you started it. I'ma finish it. Period.
With Dr. Dre's The Chronic, an entire coast demanded respect.
Bow Down was the #1 motherfucking record in the country. And we didn't have no spins on East Coast radio station.
West Coast record sales soared, the East Coast felt something they had never felt before. Jealousy.
Snoop and them had came out with a song called, you know what I mean, New York, New York. And they was kicking over our buildings and the videos and whatnot. And we had like took that like kind of personal, you know what I'm saying? That's kicking over our buildings, you know what I'm saying?
We not finna even get put in that point where we say fuck the East Coast, cause there's money over there, man. So it's like New York is the spot. New York, New York.
They like fuck the dog pound right now. So we had to go back at them, you know what I'm saying? We made a song called
L.A., big city of dreams, but everything in L.A. ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you
the only niggas that at that time they came out and firmly stood up for NY that time, you know what I'm saying? Go back, check the records, and you will hear
Tragedy, Mob D.
Right, video for it and all that.
Cause we coming from Queens, it gets down.
Well, the East Coast, West Coast thing got big because it sold records, you know what I mean? Because it sold magazines, because it helped ratings for TV and radio. I mean, it was a lot of it was about money as far as I'm concerned.
The media.
The media. Media.
The media.
Media.
The media.
The media.
The media.
The media.
Fuck the media.
Fuck the media.
Fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck the TV.
Fuck the media.
All right. The media sees the so-called East Coast, West Coast war, keeping a curious audience current with blow-by-blow coverage. Many non-related events and grievances were attributed to the beef, and sensational coverage by magazines, radio stations, and television made artists, labels, and fans take sides.
Suspiciously immediately following Shakur's shooting in New York on November 6th.
East Coast versus West Coast battle.
The reported threats on Combs' life.
Suge Knight strikes towering post.
Couldn't help but notice the huge biceps itching to bust through his shirt.
Heard there was a contract out on my life, said Combs.
East Coast, you know.
The East Coast, West Coast war.
Yeah, the Goodfellas thing was definitely purposeful. The whole Mafia reference was definitely purposeful because at this point, Death Row was the most feared entity in the music industry. And we loved the fact that these cats agreed to pose in these black outfits. We thought it was hot, you know what I'm saying? Death Row Records had a publicist named George Price at the time. And in the middle of us laying out the cover, George Price calls and he says, whatever you do, make sure that the letters on the cover are in red. You know what I'm saying?
I've had plenty problems with people that live on my block. They ain't start no whole Brooklyn thing like this, East, like Bed-Stuy against Brownsville. They ain't start no whole big thing like that.
Controversy sells.
The rappers didn't take it to another level. The companies took it to another level.
My whole career was I had never been in an interview where they didn't ask me about East Coast, West Coast. East Coast, West Coast beef.
Ain't no real East Coast, West Coast beef.
Oh, you don't like Hammer, or you don't like Will Smith. You know, let's just get you to say you don't like somebody.
You could be, artists from wherever, from Wyoming, and they're gonna ask you, well, how do you feel about what's going on with such and such and such and such?
What about Eazy-E?
So are you happy at Death Row Records now? But I ain't get on the camera to talk about that.
The interview nigga asked me a question about the magazine. He was like, yo, I heard boom, boom, you wasn't feeling with Jay-Z. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think you're a bitch ass nigga for saying that, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not gonna say
Come on. Now, when you make a statement, it's in the paper, you've taken a stance.
Bottom line, fuck that fat bitch.
When you're new in the game, you got an open mouth and you're not aware of the game they're playing with you, and you may open your mouth and say something about somebody that you didn't have to.
Fuck the source, alright? Source can suck a dick. Fuck them motherfuckers.
Can we say fuck Tim Dog on TV?
Say it.
Fuck Tim Dog. When you read your article, that's the piece that's blown up. That's in the big letters. You're like, oh.
And the stories kept coming. Rumors that Tupac had sex with Biggie Small's wife. That Tupac Shakur had been raped in prison. That Puffy had something to do with the death of Jake Robles, Suge Knight's close friend. March 1996. A gun is drawn as Death Row and Bad Boy square off at the Soul Train Awards in Los Angeles. As the tensions rose, the game's two premier MCs became opposing generals in hip-hop's civil war, whether they liked it or not.
And so here we are, you know, with this magazine. And we know in the magazine world, even if something says September, it generally comes out like the month before, around the middle of the month before. And so East Coast, West Coast, by September 13th, Tupac is dead. You know, 6 months later, Biggie is dead. And so this cover is actually kind of eerie, you know what I'm saying?
When you see a Vibe magazine, when you see Puff and Biggie on the cover and see East versus West, niggas in the hood don't read articles. They just see East versus West. Oh, it's on. It's on. When I see them niggas, it's on.
I think Vibe gets a lot of heat for that one, because it was such a, you remember that, what that cover looked like. And I think a lot of the people who probably worked at Vibe at that time still to this day feel kind of like, you know, but Vibe wasn't the only people calling that beef that. Everybody was.
And it was crazy. It was just a crazy time. And I might say now, you know, I regret the media's role and stuff like this, but we really didn't realize how deeply we were into this. I mean, if I'm only in my 30s now, I was in my 20s like most of us. You know what I'm saying? We were all kids documenting this thing. We're not even clear who we are, and we're dealing with this dominant youth culture of the day, and it's taking this very violent turn. It's this thing called East Coast, West Coast. We've never seen anything like this before. And we're just literally swept into it. It was insane, you know? There was no way to know where it was going. No way.
You know, like with the Biggie and Tupac battle, you know, there was a lot of people that was not checking to see if Pac could outrun Biggie. They were checking to see who could win in a physical confrontation, whose camps could win if the two met up with one another.
As the business of rap music became increasingly like the streets, the artists' crews, made up of close friends, family, and up-and-coming artists, became increasingly part of the problem. They were there to stop.
I mean, I've dealt with a whole lot of people that involved themselves in the streets and brought the streets into the game. And it's like the problem with that is when you bring the streets into the game, they only know the rules of the streets.
I got family, and I got a big family. You know, one of them dudes, you know what I'm saying, who just had a real big family. I have an extra huge family. But even the cops get that confused. Like, you know what I'm saying, the cops start thinking we're a gang and we're this, and they don't understand I just make music, and you know what I mean, these dudes just support me a whole lot. And some of these dudes just support me from the street, and they living this life.
Most rap crews are made up of, I say 50% businessmen and 50% thugs. 50% of your crew is made up of homeboys that just came home from jail. Now my boys that just got out, I've been the guy on their TV that they've been pointing at. That's my man. That's my man. When they get home, their life is based around maybe I could roll with Ice. Maybe Ice could help me, you know? Now, what can he do? What can he actually do? But say, yo, Blows, Joe Blow was dissing you and I knocked him out in the club. What can he do? So then that thug element is always ready to reach out and touch anybody, whether it's a cameraman, whether it's an interviewer, whether it's somebody on the radio. They do not have any other way of showing the rapper that they man than busting somebody in their head. And that's where they get their stripe. So you gotta understand that thug element is always available in rap.
You know, they want them stripes. They want them points. So it's like, even though you might tell a person, look, I really need you to slow down and cease fire and that. Hey, he's a grown man. When you're not around, he might just come along anyway and just, you know, do what he want to do on his own.
Then, instead of fighting me like a G, he ran. Now, I can't help it if some niggas that was on the scene beat his ass for running. That was something separate, you understand me? And I can't help it if they was screaming thug life as they did it. That ain't my fault. That's just how shit went down, you understand me?
I could not be there, but if I have this person running around with me to the point that you would start associating him with me, and he decides to just go kill a nigga while I'm off doing some other shit, they gonna say I sent that.
I've been in situations where I've been with my boys and I'm talking to a friend of mine in hip hop, but his soldiers is sizing up my soldiers. You see what I'm saying? His man just came out looking at my man crazy. I'm walking down the street, my man's like, I don't like it, boy. I'm like, you shut, that's my man. But that's they animal.
That's how they rationalize things with combat.
So when you first come out of the hood, you come out of the hood and you were a drug dealer and your friends is drug dealers and your friends is thugs and you were just a poet that hung out with thugs and you might have been thug too and you got a record. People around you are very protective. They're very violent. They don't really believe they have nothing to live for. And you are the centerpiece of their lives and and you're trying to train them as you learn. It's tough.
I mean, Snoop got people that's loyal to him that would probably kill you before he would.
But you gotta know how to separate your friends from your homies from your loved ones. I mean, you got homeboys, you got friends, and you got dogs. My dogs is with me all the time. My friends, hey, what's happening, local? All right, I get back at you. And my homeboys is people who I got love for, but they don't understand this business right now, so I had to keep it to a limit.
It was times where I had concerts and shows, and I tell a couple people to meet me on my block, on my corner when I first got signed. And before I know it, I look up, it's like a parade outside.
There's always somebody in somebody's ear, like telling you, fuck that, B. This, that, and third.
Yo, let that nigga go right there. That nigga said this, man.
Why you don't go see him?
Because nowadays, I mean, the pressure from your mans will make you go hurt something.
That's the dude you need to get away from you. Or you gotta school him quick, because he don't know no better.
In 1995, a crew from Eazy-E's Ruthless Records visited the Dog Pound on the set of a music video. The Dog Pound, because of their allegiance to Death Row Records, were drawn into Dr. Dre's ongoing beef with Eazy-E.
Actually, Eazy-E boys, they was just, me and Ricky Harris was riding around, in a little go-kart thing, getting ready to shoot a scene. And they just walked up on me like, fuck the Dog Pound, you know what I mean? And my response was like, I'm not, it's about 100 people around there, and one of them went behind me. So I'm like, well, either I swing now or else I just get swung on, so. But Eazy-E, rest in peace. I don't know how much he had to do with influencing them to talk about us. But they was down with him and we was down with Dre, so they was trying to do their diss thing. And we not trying to be no hoodlums, we out here trying to make money, because I know that day I felt real bad about what it looked real silly.
I love this game.
Fatal Hussein of the Outlaws was part of Tupac Shakur's crew. Due to a court date on the East Coast, Fatal wasn't in Las Vegas the night Tupac was shot.
Not that I'm some kind of, gladiator or nothing like that, but if I was dead, I know, I'm in the streets basically. Only time I'm not in the streets is when I'm with Tupac. So I know right from wrong. I know, this shit is still the streets. And I know there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't do, man, especially when you at that level, when it's like people that was around him at the time wasn't feeding this to him, man.
After a Mike Tyson bout, Tupac Shakur started a fight with Orlando Anderson, a Los Angeles gang member. Several hours later, Shakur was shot in a car just off the Las Vegas Strip.
I never stopped thinking about what the fuck was Tupac doing out there rolling in the dirt with a nigga that he ain't had no business even. He shouldn't even gave that nigga the time, man, to even say some shit like, yeah, me and Pac had a fight, man. It was like 100 other niggas there. It was supposed to be people there that was supposed to step up and handle situations. Niggas wasn't around just to be rapping and eating up shit and messing with chicks and shit like that. Everybody in the crew got a part to play. And if you don't play your part, then it's all gonna crumble. And if they get the head, man, what's gonna happen to the body? I felt like if I was dead, shit would have been totally different, man.
After the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, artists and the media temporarily came to their senses.
If you know that it's arousing the whole community, you know that you don't want that to happen. You don't want that energy coming your way, then it's definitely like up to you to take a stand and be like, yo, I really have no ill feelings towards you as a person. This was me expressing myself through my art. It's love. I want to see you prosper too.
I mean, I think a lot of the artists feel that way. They might not say it all the time. Because cats, you know, do get emotional. Sometimes it does become personal. But overall, I know the nature of these cats ain't about, like, I want to see this dude dead.
In 1997, Minister Farrakhan called an intervention in Chicago in an attempt to resolve disputes peacefully. Minister Farrakhan told his guests about organized techniques white slave owners had used to keep slaves, including deliberately causing, developing, and maintaining hostility amongst them.
Ice Cube flew in, Mac 10 flew in, Ice Cube came and just gave me a hug.
When I met Common just kind of felt like he had to defend himself, because he a cool dude, actually. And Common good, man. He can rap. He do what he do.
And I needed the elders to come bring us together and just be able to sit us at the table where it wouldn't be no ignorance and no homies just sitting around talking crazy. And we'd get aroused and just had a peace treaty. And we hugged, you know, so it was like, I needed that.
We got close, but then she broke to the West Coast, and I was cool, because around the same time, I went away.
Because they have the respect of many artists, outside entities like the Nation of Islam and Zulu Nation, as well as individuals like Russell Simmons, Jim Brown, and Mike Conception, have led the way in squashing beefs in hip-hop.
In the Nation of Islam, I'm not even allowed to speak negative of another member to another individual in the nation unless the one of whom I'm speaking about is present. If I go to another member about something negative about another member, that member is to stop me and say, hold up. If it ain't positive, I don't want to hear it. And if it's negative, that other person is not here. So what I do then, I go to someone who can officiate my beef. And I want to witness that I tried to settle it. So I don't fear nobody but God. I don't have to go and slander you behind your back. I think that's a coward's way out. Sometimes the other artist didn't even realize you had a problem with him until he heard your record. See, that's a punk way of doing things to me. That's not being a man or a woman. You should have called that artist and faced them with arbitrators saying, you did this to hurt me, and allow that person to say, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I did affected you this way. Would you please accept my apology?
We have a hip-hop summit here. We have people that work all day long on settling beefs. You know, I've been lucky enough to have an opportunity to influence some of these people. And if someone listens to me, then I should use my influence the best I can. I pay for a lot of this shit myself. I don't expect to get any help from the people who own the record companies. I wish they'd help me underwrite the hip-hop summit, because they're making billions of dollars. I don't think that people give a shit. Sometimes I don't even think they care if the artist dies as long as the catalog sells.
Every hustler that I know and every person that's had to live a violent life to survive would do anything not to have to live that life. They don't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And to get once you get out of that life, you never want to go back. It's so not gangster to get into any physicality. That's the least. That's the worst. That's when there's nothing else you can do. That should be the last resort, is violence. Especially if you're in a position where people are following behind you and you have to set an example, because it makes our culture look bad. It makes us look stupid.
Despite the wake-up call of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur's murders, as well as the efforts of many to reconcile out-of-control beefs, the climate in hip-hop grew increasingly hostile in the late 90s. Beef and diss records sprung from all over the place, in greater numbers than ever before. With big money at stake, lyrics became increasingly violent and personal. Everyone got involved, including hip-hop's premier MC.
Take over, the break's over, nigga.
No, you ain't talking about me, dog. You? What?
Fuck Jay-Z. Nasty Nas, the Esco's trash. Had a spark when you started, but now you're just garbage.
How could I be garbage?
Switch up your flow, your shit is garbage. Trying to acknowledge.
Big dick sucking lips. Won't you let the late great veteran live?
Since you infatuated with saying that gay shit, yeah, she was kissing my dick when you was kissing that bitch.
KRS already made an album called Blueprint First.
Fell from top 10 to not mention at all. To your bodyguards, Uchi Wally's verse better than yours.
Show off, I count doll when you sample my voice.
Oh yeah, I sampled your voice, you was using it wrong. You made it a hot line, I made it a hot song.
Got this Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records wanted beef.
Look, I got more shooters in Queensbridge than you.
88, you was getting chased to your building, calling my crib and I ain't even give you my numbers.
I came in your Bentley backseat.
A fan, a phony, a fake, a pussy.
Skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat.
That ether, that shit that make your soul burn slow. Put it together. I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas, and now y'all trying to take my spot, fellas.
Because it stayed on wax, the beef between Jay-Z and Nas elevated the entire game.
Put it on wax, you get out there, you do your damn thing.
Jay-Z and Nas has both been around a long time. They both lived through Biggie and Tupac, and so I think they're smarter than that, and so they resolved their beef, by putting it all on record. They're a little more experienced, a little more worldly, and they realize how their labor affects so many people. Nas feeds a lot of people. Jay-Z is responsible to a lot of people that he came up with.
If you got a beef with somebody and you really think you gotta disrespect them, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences later. Cause niggas is from the street, yo. Niggas is straight off the bricks. Niggas is feeding their families, yo. And it's serious. That's like on the streets, if you roll up on somebody, you disrespect them, for them to stay in the streets, they gotta handle you. Or the streets gonna handle them. If you ain't prepared for the aftermath, don't come up in there with none of that bullshit. Period. Because it will get dealt with. Whether it's the artist or they people. Be real with yourself. Be real. If you got talent, you ain't got to diss nobody else. And if you going to diss somebody, you know what the repercussions can be, so you ready for it. And you better be ready for it, because it's going to come.
They call us the Mall because we deep. We mad deep. They call us the Infamous because of how we get down.
Anybody else that want drama, come see us, man. Come right here, man. We be right out here. If you want drama with us, we right here, son.
Word. Chill, big,
Never
baby.
stop. The war's on 24/7. Make no mistakes about it. We ready for this. We've been doing this. Niggas know. Check the track record. What, nigga?
If you ain't banging, don't promote it. And if you're gon' spit it out, make sure you wrote it. And if you're gon' cross us, make sure you're holding. Cause it'll be more than just niggas with they face swollen. It's S to the I and TRU, we mean business. Knocking on doors like Jehovah Witness. How y'all call yourselves murderers when we the killers, nigga? Shit, no.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that, no names, but nothing happened though. You know what I'm saying?
While most beefs increasingly seem inspired by the desire for record sales and media drama, there are some beefs that remain underground.
Mobb Deep incident, man, we had did a record together, me, Prodigy, and Cool G Rap, you know what I'm saying? Shit came out alright, you know what I mean? We had a little bars going with the record, and the nigga played himself and spit the verse on another record, you know what I'm saying? Guess he wasn't that talented, and when he spit the verse on another record, when we paid him for that verse already, so we ended up getting into a little controversy. He treated me like I was some funny style nigga. I tried to holler, he played games, so I had to wake him up, let him know what I was about, you know what I mean?
Prodigy of Mobb Deep appeared on the soundtrack with True Life. Before it could be released, Prodigy recorded his verse on a song that appeared on the Any Given Sunday soundtrack, leaving True Life unable to release his track.
Let's talk about the True Life incident. What was the True Life incident?
True Life incident?
True Life?
Oh, they talk about Howie, that Puerto Rican kid.
Who?
From the LES, from the Lower East Side.
Oh, all right.
His name is True Life.
Oh, the incident with us and him?
Yeah.
All right.
We're not even gonna talk about that. That's totally out the whole tape. You could erase that, bro.
I was in the studio with Jizza from Wu-Tang, and I had some other friends that came down and visited me, whatever, and they was there, and we're chilling. The music's loud as fuck, dog. We can't even hear. We're like this, popping. All of a sudden, my boy walks to the door, and he's like this.
You know, we ended up taking it there, man. Ran in the studio with 9 guns, two shotguns.
7 motherfuckers running with Uzis and shotguns and fucking guns.
You know, slapped a few cats up.
This other kid over here, they pistol whipped him.
Sent the nigga home butt naked and all that.
Kicked the shit out of him.
Showed him how we do this, man. We ain't playing no games with niggas.
They didn't even look at me. they didn't even look at Jizza. You know what I mean?
A few of your favorite rappers was in there, you know what I mean? At gunpoint with guns to their face and shit. But it ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no drama with them. We didn't want to just get out of hand like we was wilding for no reason. We wilding for a reason, man. You fuck with us, man, you know what I mean?
True story, man. True
we gonna wild out on you know what I mean? You bring it to us, we gonna bring it to y'all, you know what I'm saying? That's how we coming, fam. Real tizzle, man. We ain't playing with this.
And Dito, I got good aim, y'all. I got good aim. It's nothing.
The gun went off and just missed them, and they robbed them all and shit. Took all their clothes off and dipped.
$1 for a stripper. $1 for a stripper. I see niggas like strippers.
Did you get the results that you wanted to get?
Did I get the results? Not really, man, tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? Cause really, I thought the nigga was a street cat, you know what I'm saying? So it's like niggas be talking this gangster shit on records, how they handling shit and all that, like niggas is G'd up and all that, so we took it there. But niggas really wasn't ready, and it seemed like, you know what I mean, niggas got scared of me and all that. And that's not what we trying to do, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, we gonna bring it there if we gotta bring it there, you know what I mean? You fuck around, you gonna lay around, homie, we doing this for real, man, we G'd up for real, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, I treat niggas like bitches, kid. Wanna strip for me?
$1, Bite.
Strip for me, fuck that. True life, yo, true life, yo. That's word.
Prodigy and Havoc were not present when True Life confronted Mobb Deep at the studio, but felt responsible for their group that bore the brunt of True Life's response.
Where do it stop? You know what I mean? Like, how far do it go? Eventually, somebody could fuck around and die behind it. And then at the end of the day, you think about it, is it all worth it? When it's just supposed to be music.
We could end it with his man.
Right there, wait.
Could Prodigy have realized how important the collaboration track was to a signed but unreleased artist like True Life?
I was ready to shoot a low-budget video to it, put out some vinyl, like a little single to start my little career.
Could Prodigy have responded when True Life tried to bring the issue to him?
I made the phone call. I made more than one phone call. I was calling these kids for over a month, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling everybody. I'm calling their manager. I got my manager calling. I got this one calling, that one calling. And you know, they was just showing me no respect.
Could True Life have responded in a diss record in a way that was hip-hop? Or did he mistake Mobb Deep's gangster lyrics for an invitation to deal with the beef in a street way?
Sometimes being a man, part of being a man is learning how to swallow your pride. And I guess that's one time that I slipped, and men make mistakes. You know, we're human beings. And I slipped and I made a mistake, and I didn't swallow my pride that time. My pride got to me, and it was too big. I kind of almost choked on it. It was like I was willing to die for my pride at that situation. I'm more grown now. I got a son now, and I look at things way differently, and I see things way differently. And looking at myself, looking back on the videotape, I kind of look a little ignorant to myself, just looking at myself like, you know what I mean? Because I know that ain't me, that's not the man I want to be.
Fortunately, this beef has since been squashed privately. In the 20 years since Kool Moe Dee and Busy B, the competitive landscape has changed considerably. Battles, disses, beefs, and deaths have molded the character of MCs along the way. Today, hip-hop is facing a new generation of MCs. A generation of MCs that might not know where music ends and the streets begin. A generation raised on beef.
Try to get 80,000 people in this little ass club. Get out of here, you gotta get it now.
What is you guys doing?
50 Cent embodies the new battle MC, a drug dealer from the streets of Queens who made his name and built his fame by beefing with other artists. But as recently as 1999, 50 Cent was just one of thousands of young MCs trying to beat the odds.
My favorite friend and my favorite rapper in the whole world, drop his album, please. Thank you.
Being a new kid, brand new, nobody don't know nobody. How do you get in all at one time? You make everybody that you feel like is somebody go, Who's 50 Cent?
Bottom line is, I'm a crook with a deal. If my record don't sell, I'ma rob and steal. You better recognize, nigga, I'm straight from the street. These industry niggas is starting to look like something to eat.
Since hip-hop started, an up-and-coming MC could attack an established artist to get in the game. But 50 Cent's How to Rob marked a new phenomenon, an MC dissing dozens of artists who took his threats seriously and his disses personally.
I don't give a fuck today about that, because I'm facing those same situations in my hood all day. So if they got a problem and they want to go the other route with it, it's the same deal. You know, because it's that or go back to the hood, and that's all that's waiting for me back in the hood.
I'm about to stick Bobby for some of that Whitney money. Brian McKnight, I could get the nigga anytime. Have keep sweating, staring down the barrel of my 960s.
But more importantly, it got the attention of a superstar.
What Jigga just sold? Like 4 mil? He got something to live for. Don't want a nigga putting 4 through that Bentley coupe dope.
I ran into Jay at Summer Jam.
So they're backstage, and Jay was like,
yo, I don't like that record you got. I love that record you got.
The song was hot. 50 was like, you know, good looking. He's like, but you know, I gotta get you.
I'm like, all right, you know, do what you do. I didn't know he meant right then. He go on stage, that's the first time I ever seen 30,000 people. He said, I'm about $1. Who the fuck is 50 Cent?
I'm about dollars. Who the fuck is 50 Cent?
I didn't even know 30,000 people knew who 50 Cent was. I should send him a bottle of champagne for that.
In April 2000, 50 Cent was shot 9 times with a 9mm handgun as he left his grandmother's house in Queens.
This gun's still going on. You jumping around in the backseat of the fucking car and shit. You don't know whether you gonna get up out this bitch or not, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you in the rearview mirror looking at you. You got a hole in your face. You don't know if if that bullet is gonna kill you. Still, when it might not kill you right now while you're on your way to the hospital, but you don't know if it can be removed without killing you. Getting shot changed me a lot. I don't care about shit no more. Well, you can say I'm worse, because I really don't give a fuck. Now it's more like I know that I'm not in control of everything. You know, if you believe in God, you believe God got a plan for you, and that you're not in control over that plan.
Armed with his fatalistic attitude, 50 Cent set his sights on his greatest challenge.
We went down with that cat 50 Cent. We went down with that.
Who?
That cat 50 Cent.
Who? I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what you're talking about.
From adjacent neighborhoods in Queens, the beef between 50 Cent and Ja-Rule started in the streets in 1999.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja-Rule. And I'm in a club, and I see the nigga. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm chilling. He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him. And he feel like, oh shit, I shouldn't speak to this dude because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him.
Next, words are exchanged and blows thrown as the two square off in Atlanta. And from there, things turned ugly.
So yo, 50, what's the definition of a wankster, man? I mean, what is that?
Ja-Rule, Irv Gotti. I'll tell you personally, the Murder Inc., the people that you see like Irv, Ja, the people that are involved in the business aspect are bitches. Like, these niggas don't got no hood in them.
He's nobody. He's this person. Right, this person we're talking about, he's no one.
That's the whole wankster thing.
Some niggas ain't hustlers.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So when you got a nigga that's not a hustler, he becomes a buddy hustler. And what he does is he tries to eat off of other niggas' plates.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? By, you know, mentioning names and saying things.
Come here, give me a kiss, you little faggot.
And then wanting them to chant back. So that's why, you know, when you say the name, I say who?
That nigga's a sweetheart for real.
I don't know him.
He's a fruit pop for real.
You know, he sells like no record. He hasn't even came out yet.
I can't even see how a kid can look at Ja-Rule and want to be like Ja Rule.
I don't know him.
This nigga want to be Tupac Shakur.
There's a lot of people out there that don't have things.
This nigga doing duets.
That see people with things.
But you call yourself a murderer the whole time.
And they want what these other people got.
He's a pop artist.
Who?
Grease video.
Buddy hustler.
Like you might as well just go over there and hang out with Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and them if they'll accept you.
Success is the best, you know what I mean? Revenge, nigga.
That shit is crazy. I really don't like that guy. I really don't like Ja Rule.
Make a nigga die bleeding is nothing. You make a nigga die breathing and you're saying something.
Maybe I'm so disrespectful, cause to me you're a mystery. I know niggas from your hood, you have no history. Never poke nothing, never pop nothing, nigga, stop frontin'.
That's his personal opinion. If that's the way he feel about Ja, that's his personal opinion. But I mean, does that give you the right to go making songs and saying all this shit about it?
I write my life, you write what you seen in gangster movies. I'm gangster to the core, nigga, you can't move. Yeah! Not a murderer. Nah, you not a murderer, nigga. Ja, you little stupid little looking motherfucker. Your boss is a bitch, if he could, he would. Sell his soul for cheap, trade his life to be sure.
Ja's my dog, we bang together, you know what I mean? Straight up and down, it's murder for life. I'm from the good hood, from ghetto. I came straight to Murder Inc., straight from my cell, from jail. People see me on the sideline and like, damn, Black been with Murder for like 4 years, what's popping with Black? But now it's time for me, now that the beef is popping, now I mean it's time for me to smash them. But I'm not out for the big fame, jump out there just for the chains, the jewels, and man, listen, my family got a house, I'm taking care of my family, got something called health insurance now.
Nigga, you fucking with a thug, hollow tips,
Let's shout, sitting in the barrel, nigga Just, 730 Entertainment.
Let me let these niggas know I ain't got to spit shit at these clowns, these fucking chumps. Word to mother, right now I'm about to go ahead and continue to make my motherfucking hits and shit and do what I do, you know, that motherfucking platinum sound, that Murder Inc. sound. What up, Gotti?
While Ja Rule responded to 50 Cent's disses, he left most of the work to the Murder Inc. camp.
I remember one day when I seen 50 on the Ave, that's how real it was. He was walking to a dollar cab, and I was walking to a dollar cab. I'm talking about, nigga, we gonna get public transportation. And we had a conversation, I'm like, yo, listen, man, if it's a problem with Ja, just leave that alone. I'm home, I'm eating with Rule, so if you got a beef with him, I mean, leave that alone, cause we eating together. Cause I knew about the song when he had Murder, I don't believe you. I knew about that before he laid there.
Murder, I don't believe you.
Your life's on the line. Y'all niggas don't want no parts of me. You tryna figure out how y'all started me. You gon' make it catch on.
And he was like, nah, I don't got no problems with Rule. So when I heard that, you know what I mean, that was like everything in me that would tell me, yo, leave this alone or whatever, that was out the window. I was like, man, fuck this nigga, he's a clown.
In March 2000, before they ever responded on wax, Black Child and others, including Murder Inc. label head R.E.A.L Gotti, confronted 50 Cent at the Hit Factory, a New York recording studio.
You want to call yourself a murderer? Then you need murderers around you to make it believable.
In the fight, Black Child stabbed 50 Cent and several others.
I don't really remember who was there, you know, my memory is kind of fucked up. I smoke a lot of weed. You know what I mean? I smoke a lot of weed. It was me and a few other people. I don't even remember who was with me. What's beef? You know what I mean? Beef is when you see a nigga in this fucking studio or wherever and the nigga want to talk and niggas was like, nah, ain't nothing to talk about, right? It's like 5 of us and 5 of them and niggas is getting it on and fighting and bang. Some way, somehow, the lights got hit off and niggas was getting it on in the dark. It wasn't like nobody hit the snitch like niggas is gangster and niggas hit the switch. Know what I mean? The fucking not see nothing. It's just in the mix of it being so crowded and niggas beefing. Somebody bumped into the light switch and it got dark. That's what happened, son. Know what I mean? Because it was like 10 niggas that's getting it on in the dark. One of the niggas with 50, like, yo, where the gat at? What? I just start hitting niggas, vom. Because I first thing kicked in my mind, if niggas get to the gat, one of us is dead. but I felt the gap was in the area and niggas was reaching for it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't letting nobody get to their gun to pop me. You know what I mean? So I started poking niggas straight up and down. And that's the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Word to God, fucking snitch ass nigga 50 Cent.
In the fight, 50 Cent was stabbed, and those wounds, while minor, needed several stitches. Black Child was arrested for the stabbing.
Lawyers let us know, I mean, niggas was pressing charges. Niggas said that I stabbed them, and then I stabbed a few people and all that. They gave a statement on me. That's the statement that's floating around that some people don't think is a real document, but it's a real document.
The source claims to have, quote, obtained and verified, unquote, these documents in its February 2003 article on Ja Rule.
What I'm holding in my hand, I'm gonna leave with you, man, is an order of protection. An order of protection for Irving Lorenzo to stay away from Curtis Jackson. That's 50, y'all. AKA 50, AKA informant, AKA I'm telling.
In the March 2003 XXL magazine, 50 Cent claimed that the letter of protection was a publicity stunt designed to boost Ja Rule's image a week prior to the release of Rule's The Last Temptation.
You little bitch! Try to jump off like it's a promotional stunt. 7 days before your album drop, huh, you little bitch? Order of protection. From who? Who I need order protection from, nigga? Your little... Oh, man. Motherfuckers, man.
He's a clown for denying it. For denying, because like anybody that really want to dig is going to find out it's true. So how you going to deny a fact? I had called my lawyer and said, yo, send me a copy over them. And we started letting the copy circulate to expose what type of person this, what type of individual 50 is, because he running around portraying a thug and all that. See, if he was rapping about club music and itchy eye, yeah, and some party jump off, he'd be cool, but you can't talk like a gangster and you a snitch.
XXL also investigated the controversial order of protection and reported that neither the officer nor his precinct actually exists.
I smell pussy, is that you, I smell pussy, is that you, Ja? I smell pussy, is that you, Blay? I smell pussy, is that you, Ty? Y'all niggas is pussy.
If I smell pussy, is that you, Ty? And Irv, and he said Ja, and he said my name. Once he said my name, that's it. I look, come on, man, I'm from the streets. I gotta walk down the streets. Niggas like, yo, what's up with 50 getting at you, Black? Listen, I'ma get at 50. He's the real wankster.
Now stab you up, don't make me gun you down. Your whole career's nothing but a publicity stunt until I kill you and give you the publicity you want. Yeah.
Both the source and XXL's story obscure the issue. The order of protection does exist, though it's not clear it was at 50 Cent's request. Detective William Fitzgerald does exist and works out of a precinct just blocks away from the Hit Factory. 50 Cent maintains that the emergence of the order of protection after more than 2 years is just a publicity stunt to give Ja Rule street credibility. Also, a procedural question exists regarding orders of protection, whether they are requested by victims, like restraining orders, or issued by a judge as a condition of release on bail.
Ain't none of them niggas can't make a record that makes them relevant. Make a hit record, and then I go back and forth with you all day. Other than that, when I throw a blow at your punk ass, you just eat it. You just accept it. Because you ain't shit, nigga. And you starving. When I go through the hood, it's because I'm so hood. When you in the hood, it's because you stuck in that motherfucker.
Man, I don't got nothing to say to that cat. I heard he got a new joint on the radio talking about I'm in the hood because I don't got no choice. Man, I'm in the hood because I'm going to make a difference in the hood, man. You know what I mean? I don't really got nothing too much to say to him, man. Straight up, it ain't really nothing to talk about. However, whenever, whatever, man. You know what I mean? I ain't on it riding around spending my time. I ain't even going, I don't got nothing to say. I don't got nothing to say to that clown, man.
I can't say that I can resolve a situation or a beef with somebody that I can't stand this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this ain't WWL. It's not like I just got rap beef with this nigga. I don't like this little nigga. You know what I'm saying? For pretending so much, it makes me sick.
While it launched 50 Cent's career and helped sell millions of records, the 50 Cent Murder Inc. beef has already become violent. Where will it lead from here? Will they find some way to resolve it? Or will these rappers share the fates of Biggie and Tupac and end their beefs at funerals.
For the black community especially, we have like broken families with no father, no big brothers, and so the music becomes the big brother, and or the music becomes the father, because you listening to all these niggas. So it'd be like I grew up, Ice Cube, Public Enemy, KRS-One, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, all them niggas was my daddy, you know, because I ain't have none, and that's who I listened to know how to have big nuts, you know what I'm saying? Them the niggas who I gauge my nuts by. So if Cube was saying he was knocking this, you know, knocking this nigga off, and Kane was saying this and this is how you do a nigga, and LL was saying beat niggas like this, you grow up being, okay, that's fuck it. Fuck it. I got big nuts. I'm knocking niggas off. I'm not taking shit from the police. Cube told me this, the bitch is a bitch, and I'm not fucking with these hoes. You grow up and you get the lessons that you would have got from your daddy, but you're getting it from niggas because they got it from their daddy, and they spitting the game. So the game is the music. And it's like you're paying $10 for a whole lifestyle of games.
The spoken word is very powerful. Extremely, probably the power of the universe.
Criminal minded. There's a picture of him holding 9mm.
In 1986, Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One and Scott LaRock released their debut album, Criminal Minded. A year later, Scott LaRock was shot and killed.
When you don't use your words correctly or wisely, the results are catastrophic. And so we put out Criminal Minded. Scott gets killed. What do you expect?
Niggas getting killed in the rap game faster than they getting killed in the drug game.
As more and more artists become obsessed with their own deaths, does this obsession become a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Just my last album.
It's over, man. It's over, man.
Tupac actually believed that he would not only not be here long, he believed that he would be murdered by someone that he did not know. He believed that he would be murdered by someone who wasn't a huge, big, important person, but it would be, as he said, a nobody and anybody will walk up to him and, you know, take him out. Because Tupac believed that anybody could be touched. And by touched, he meant that's the whole point. You know what I mean? As if you can be touched, that's it. You can be killed.
I think about Tupac Shakur, that's all he talked about. I mean, listen to his music, he talked about dying and death over and over again. And when you put it out there that much, man, you know, I think it's going to happen sooner or later.
If you speak death, it's going to end up at your door.
Any nigga that think while I'm gone they going to take my spot, they mistaken. You know what I'm saying? My spot is wedged in and it ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming right back to my place. Anybody that's in it, they're going to have to move.
Really, if you tell me, yo, such and such, yo, I heard some dudes from over on such and such said they're trying to kill you or they're going to get at you. I'm like, so what? Tell them, come on. I ain't got no control over the situation. If I let what you say to me fuck with my emotions where I can't go make some new music or I can't go do nothing because I'm thinking about what you just said, I'm the idiot. Yeah, I feel like I have a purpose. I don't know exactly what it is yet. I know it's something, I'm supposed to do something positive.
While the continuing competitive rivalry in hip-hop has created some of the most exciting music and raised the level of the game, the tension between artists and their communities has escalated. Outside forces and the allure of ever-increasing financial rewards have put tremendous pressure on artists to succeed at any cost. Now is the time for leadership, and for newer artists to recognize that leadership. Now is the time for those artists who help create the culture to step up when necessary, to guide and address grievances. Now is the time to return to the original spirit of hip-hop and stop the violence. Some of the most important voices in hip-hop were killed needlessly.
Big was that, he was that guy that made it cool for you to be you. That was a major loss, man.
Voices that can never be replaced.
fucked up, man, that somebody that stood for so much had to die for something so small.
What will be the legacy of their deaths?
I wish that my son was here and that he could go and lie down in my bed and come out of my room and say, "Ma, what'd you cook?" I miss him. I miss my son.